Howdy, folks. Welcome to this week's Ag Report. So this week we thought we, would maybe share a little. Some people call it backstory or history, or maybe you wonder, well, why do they call it that? Maybe there's things that you hear us saying, walking in high cotton or something like that, and it's something that you've always kind of heard or seen, but maybe you didn't know where that started. So what we were going to talk about is you probably see in the fall of the year different advertisements for, it may be called a harvest sale or a harvest auction or a Lord's Acre auction or something like that. And you may see these at a lot of Methodist churches, but also at other churches. And you maybe you never wondered, maybe you thought, well, where did that kind of come from or whatever. So I was going to share with you a little bit of a backstory of local information of kind of where that started here in Ellis County. So as y'all know, Texas is rural, lots of agriculture, and especially years ago, that was the lifeblood of communities. And so churches started having it has several different names, and I've got some old pictures where it's called God's Acre or Lord's Acre Harvest or Lord's Acre Project, all kind of the same thing. So what this is and what it currently still is today. So this started locally. The very first one was held in 1952 here in Ellis County. Just a little southwest of Waxahachie is a community called Bethel, and that's where the very first one was held. The Bethel Church there held this, and it's an auction. It's a way that the church raises money to function for the rest of the next year. So the way this would kind of work is the farmer or rancher would donate 1 acre of whatever the crop was on that acre. So if you were a cotton farmer, that would be an acre of cotton. If you were a wheat farmer, that would be an acre of grain of wheat. If you were a cattle producer, then that would be maybe a side of beef or a steer from that acre. And so I was able to look through some old pictures from the 1956 Lord's Acre sale. And so they had some pigs that were, raised and donated. They had some steers, some calves. They had sacks that would say, I believe in that particular one, it said Lord's Acre Project. And then it was grain that was raised on that acre and put in those sacks. And all that was brought down to the tabernacle and auctioned off. And they had some pens set up. I remember as a kid, the pens still being there, but they had pens set up to unload the animals and things like that. And then whatever those animals or crops raised at the auction, that money was used by the church for expenses for the next year. And so they also did neat kind of things. Maybe some of you folks, remember this growing up. You would drive around in the country, and I've got some pictures of, they would take pictures of maybe the farmer or the farmer's family and that sign and that acre. I've seen some pictures in cotton fields and things of a family, and that was the acre that they were donating that year, the proceeds to. And so it's kind of cool to see. Maybe you remember that, from growing up out there. There's even, I've seen some pictures where the pastor was there dedicating that sign with the family or the individual on there. So anyways, it still goes on today. A lot of churches still have Lord's Acre sales or harvest sales in the fall. And again, it's goods that people donate. You probably, don't necessarily see bales of cotton donated anymore, but you still see quilts and handmade items and pies and cakes. And that's one thing I remember growing up, there were ladies in the church that, they had a specialty that they made. Maybe it was a chocolate, cake or something like that. And so I remember they would be auctioned off. And so those ladies kept a keen eye on their husbands because it was kind of a competition. Those husbands better bid those pies up because they wanted their pie to bring more than anybody else's. And so you'd see them over there giving them the elbow or giving them the eye that they better bid on that pie or they were going to be in trouble when they got home on there. So, but anyways, maybe y'all remember some of that going to some of those sales. But they still go on. So just remember, as y'all go through the summertime and you start seeing those advertisements around, go support those local auctions and stuff this fall. And maybe if you're driving around in the countryside this summer and you have, I don't know, maybe there's some folks that still put the little signs up. If you see that, now you'll kind of know what you're looking at and what that means about that acre of land there. So anyways, I hope you all enjoy this ag report. Hope it was maybe kind of informative for you about some cool local history there and what those Lord's Acre sales mean in the fall. So remember, y'all go out, support your community, shop, invest in your local folks, your local businesses if you can. Y'all take care now.